There we go. Hi, Bob.
Hi, DJ. Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm a
You're welcome.
massive 30. I'm a massive 39 today.
Wow, that must suck. Guess how old I am.
39.
That's how I know it sucks. Now, I do want you to see something.
Okay.
A couple things. One is this.
Wait,
He's flexing for you?
are you flexing for me?
No, no, I'm not.
Please, please.
Oh, sleeves.
Yes, please. Yes, good call. Now, I'm not doing that for you. It's a coincidence that
Did you
this is
have
what
to buy
I
that shirt?
Oh, this is an old shirt. It's actually full of holes down here at the bottom where I was working at a place where steel was like always dragging across there. So it's got a whole bunch of holes on the bottom, which tends to happen working in factories. That's one of the many, many bad things about working in factories. The other thing I wanted to show you is this.
Woo, Robo Boot.
I know. It kind of sucks. I told my wife, it's like, if we had the money, I'd want two of these. And she's like, why? I'm like, well, because I have 2 feet, and it just seems kind of awkward having one on one side and not the other.
I could have sent you one.
But I'm like, I'm totally on my way to becoming a cyborg. So, Brian, Reed, you're not signing in on this. We're recording live here. Sorry, kid.
Well, for anyone wondering, we're going to do the whole Bob's the primary video thing because once again it's asking me to upgrade even though I've already upgraded. Google, you're really starting to piss me off.
Fuck you, Google.
Yeah, fuck you,
Do
Google.
you want to try with my computer?
Unless, of course, Google, you decide to sponsor us. Then not fuck you, I guess.
We'd have to restart the show.
Oh, you didn't call me? Oh, okay.
Whatever you guys want to do, man.
We're going to do this. We're used to it. Next time I'm going to start a call with her, and then I'll get the update out of the way, and then I'll call you.
Cool.
So we've been off for a while.
Yes, we have. Yep, you have a. I see the green screen you have in the background is now showing a different house than the one that you were having back there.
That's not a green screen. That's our actual house now.
It's a different house. Wow.
Yes, yes.
State or in a different state, in a different town, in a different climate, in a different time zone.
It's true.
Same old DJ.
Pretty
Yeah.
different.
I would show everybody around, but A, we're having the video problems, and B, it's a catastrophe in here, so I don't really want to display that.
What a great word. Catastrophe.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a long word with a lot of A's. Well, actually, just 2 A's.
Come here, kitty.
I think there's a lot in the alphabet too, isn't there? No, never mind. No.
We got here on Thursday.
Yes.
Yay.
We traveled half the country with a cat in the car.
Well, that could not have been fun.
She actually, I mean, it does sound like the beginning of a complete horror story, but she was actually a very good traveler. She made the first block and a half of the trip the worst ever.
It's true.
Well, I think we stopped twice
Yes.
within 2 blocks of our house leaving.
I have
Wow.
full leg because of it.
So, I mean, it started bad. But
Somebody said that. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody
ahead.
told me that traveling with cats is a lot easier than traveling with dogs because you could put something with kitty litter behind the seat, and you don't really have to deal with stopping and walking them.
well,
I've never traveled with a cat before, though.
I mean, I've never traveled a long distance with a dog or a cat, I guess. Let me tell you that guinea pigs are way easier to travel with.
Yes.
They come in a self-contained home.
Yes.
Right?
But with her, she what her problem is that we discovered the first time we ever took her in a car is that she wants to be under the driver's feet, trying to climb up underneath the gas pedal.
Yeah, that's not good.
Like, that is the only place in the car she wants to be. So
then instead of the car going vroom, it would go
So we talked about several methods of containing her for the trip, and we settled on a leash and collar in the car so that we could at least keep her away from that area. We did put a litter box in the back seat for her, and we had a little kitty house, and we had her food and water out. And what we basically discovered is she used 0 of it until we were at a hotel every night. So she basically hunkered down in either, well, the first day she spent her day wrapped up in DJ's coat, kind of halfways on my lap in between us. Because once we covered her, she was okay with traveling. And
I'm the same way.
they wrap you up in a big coat and you can travel.
Well, that's what puts me to sleep. Is I cover up my face when I go to sleep. So that's the thing now. Is that if I cover up my face, I'm like a damn parrot, and I'm out. So yeah, if I'm in a car, I just cover up my face and gone.
Well, now you can't get into a fight with anybody because the first thing they're going to do is throw a rag over your head. You're just going to go right out.
Wow, that's terrifying.
They're going to come at you with a blanket, and you're going to have some sort of weapon, and they're going to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically we either covered her or stuck her in her little cat house and stuck her in between us or on my lap or something, and she would sleep or lay there the whole time. And
just for a point of clarification, the cat house is where the cat sleeps, not where hookers hang out.
Right? That makes a lot more sense.
And so yeah, we got through the trip relatively easily, aside from having a very full car.
Yes.
And how long did it take to make the entire trip?
We left our house on Tuesday at about noon.
I'd say it was 11. I'd say it was 11:30, somewhere in there. And then we got to Bozeman, Montana.
We got to Bozeman, Montana the first night. And then we traveled another full day. We woke up earlier, traveled another full day, and got to Pendleton, Oregon, which is about 3 hours out of Portland. And the fog, holy crap!
It was thick.
And there was this part on. So we're basically like going through mountains and stuff. And, you know, the roads are all S-curves and just crazy. And there are semis everywhere. And here it is, pitch black, in the mountains, with fog you can't even see 15 feet in. And we've got this semi coming down the interstate behind us, going around this totally, like, you turn 180 degrees on it, S-turn road. Twice. Yeah. And so we're like, yeah, we're not making it to Portland tonight because driving in the dark, in the mountains, in the fog are things that we're not used to. So we just had to.
Yeah, I mean, that's just layers of stuff.
Yes, it was.
So yeah, we got to Pendleton, and we stayed there the second night, and then drove another 3 hours and got to Portland in the daylight. And there was a lot of fog in the morning, too. But a couple miles out of Pendleton, it cleared up, and the rest of the way to Portland was clear. So
Wow.
What we're told is that they do have, fog is pretty prevalent in that area, but it's not, it's more in the fall. It's not so much into the winter season like now. So now was a little odd for them, too. But really, fog anytime in the winter is odd for us.
Right.
Because we have to figure out a completely new climate at this point.
Yeah. It's weird how something that you take the weather for granted wherever you're at, and you're quite a ways away from where you were. I mean, that's going to have drastically different weather.
Yes.
Very much so. Yeah. like right now, it's about 40 degrees warmer than what we left in Bismarck.
Damn. Do you have
And
snow
that's
there?
the
No.
I mean, they can get snow, but there is no snow. It's in the low 50s.
Wow, nice.
It's raining. Let's see. It rained almost all day yesterday. Thursday was nice, or the first full day we were here. Friday.
Yeah. Friday was decent. Yeah, it rained almost all day yesterday, and when they
Ooh, sun.
It was snowing here for a little while ago. Yeah.
we yesterday we were told it was really going to come down hard, and I'm using the air quotes for anyone who's not watching, and it was basically a little more than heavy drizzle, and you did get wet if you stayed outside too long, but
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of rain, but it wasn't the rain that we're used to, because we're used to it being about 3 times as hard as that with 45-mile-an-hour wind. And there was no wind.
Wow.
So, but the first day we got here on Thursday, we went to we got here and we pretty much went up to IKEA and started our shopping after we unloaded the car, because we've got don't poke your eye out, Bob. Like, that's a possibility right now. That's not just one stupid "you're gonna poke your eye out" warnings.
I don't even know what that thing is. It was just sitting here. It's like, hey, this is a cool thing to wave around my eyeball. Yeah, good point, though.
well, someone got food poisoning.
Yeah, I got food poisoning the first night we were here.
So when she was food poisoned, I decided that we needed to have a couch because both of us were tired of sitting on the floor. So we are podcasting from our brand new couch.
Our first couch since July of 2013.
And then, hopefully I get it all in here. Then I built the TV stand over there while she was sleeping.
Nice. Now, did you build that from scratch, or was it a kit type, like
IKEA, you build everything from IKEA.
It's a kit. It's
Gotcha.
DJ doesn't know how to build from scratch.
No. And then yesterday, I wanted to put our bed together. I'd say it took about 6.5 hours to do. So I built both the couch and the TV stand together in about half the time it took me to build the bed yesterday.
Wow, 6.5 hours? I mean, that's pretty good time. People are probably a lot worse at it.
Well, in his defense too, these were all 2-person jobs according to the instructions, and he built 2 of them completely by himself while I laid on an air mattress having food poisoning.
Yes.
And then
You come up with creative ways to put things together when it's a 2-person job and you're the only person doing it.
Yes. Which reminds me. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and then with the bed, I was trying to empty boxes in the kitchen while he built the bed, so every once in a while it was, "I need help," and I ran in and gave him the second person help he needed.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I found out the other day we went to where I work to turn in some paperwork because I can't work there right now. My foot being screwed up. I'm carrying sheets of 4x8 sheets of steel all day long, and I require crutches now. So there's no carrying sheets of steel anywhere.
No.
So I'm not working there. So we went in there, and I took all my stuff that was sitting there, and I put it into a. While we were there, I went to my little area, and we took the stuff just so it doesn't disappear.
Okay.
There's 2 people doing my job. It takes 2 people to do what I do. They've been doing it for 2 weeks now, I think. But it's taking 2 people to do what I do, which makes me feel pretty good about myself.
You're awesome, obviously.
Yeah. Brain.
Much better than coming in and finding out that you're replaced by a cart with wheels.
Yeah. I need to go out there and get my charger for my phone, please. It's plugged into the thing across the table. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's been jobs throughout from the past that people thought were going to be forever. And I mean, hell, there was a time when they had people setting up bowling pins, and they seriously said, "Hey, they can't replace me. Who the hell is going to set up bowling pins?" Well.
And now it's done by machine.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that. I mean, eventually, I guess what I do there could be replaced by machine, but I don't think. Thanks, kid. I don't think that's something that's going to happen anytime. It needs that interaction with it. It needs the intelligence involved, not just a do this, then this, then this.
Straight line from point A to point B.
Right. I am going to try to plug in my phone so it doesn't die on me. Yay, it works through the computer one. I notice not all devices will charge through the computer one, which is weird.
Do you notice if it's just Apple devices won't charge, or has it been? Because
I think
problem with the Windows computer not charging Apple devices.
My Nook, I think, was one of them.
Oh, okay.
You could plug it in, and you can then access all your files and everything through the phone, but it doesn't charge it. Which sucks when I was watching Netflix or something, and it starts to go. So I plug it into there so I can do stuff, and it's still dying, and I don't realize it because it wasn't charging. But yeah, there's a few things that I've noticed that do that. Does this work upside down too? Nope, screen's not flipping. Okay.
Nope.
Flip this.
There you go.
You're wide.
Is that a fat joke?
We'll
Is this okay this
one? That's much better,
It
actually.
works better, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, because my charger's on the bottom, so I can't have it standing up.
Yeah, because now this way, see, you're using the full screen, whereas before you were only using that tiny little strip in the middle.
Yeah, cool. Because you guys were doing the same thing. You guys were a strip on my phone.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
And now you guys are also wide.
Hey, is that a crack on my...
No, Brian. He's laughing his ass off over here. Hey, kids these days. Back in my day, nah, can't really say that stuff
Do
because.
you have the question and answer thing on, or are you not using that?
Oh, hey, I do have the question and answer thing on. We should open that up because somebody might be asking questions.
I just hit my leg elbow really hard.
Your leg elbow? I miss Bobby.
Isn't that a great term?
Hey, did you know that you're now one of 3 people we know with casts on their leg?
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of all 3 of you. Well, 2 my friend had surgery on December 15th, so she was first. And then you would have been next. And then a friend of ours, another guy in Bismarck, well, the day before we left.
Yeah.
So yeah, there seems to be some sort of epidemic going on, like the flu.
No, it's trendy. Everybody who's cool is doing it.
I shouldn't have that stupid boot I had.
Yeah.
I would have fit in.
I was broken before it was cool.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, I have you on the computer screen now, so you're just kind of like hanging there. Because my case. Yeah, you guys don't care where you're at. So, do we have any questions or anything? Is there any? I see we have one view.
That's my mother-in-law. Hi, mother-in-law.
It's my dad.
Oh, hi, father-in-law.
I mean, it might be both of them on one computer.
I have both of them on one computer.
that was awesome.
Because my dad asked why he can't see us. Our feed isn't working. And he just sees Bob.
Well, I mean, you should see us in the corner because I think that we show up on both.
Is it bad that we just see Bob? I mean, you know...
It's not bad. I mean, he is... Look how pretty he is.
I don't know. I'm pretty awesome. No, that...
You are.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like being the center as much as it may seem. My goal in life is to get through without being noticed, so here I am, live out into the world here on camera.
Well, I could make us the center of attention because, I mean, that's an option.
Is the only thing that happens if you let it switch is that bubble pops up?
And dings. Yes.
I've not heard of them. Okay.
Yeah, and Bob says he can hear the ding, which means everybody can hear the ding.
Ding, fries are done. Yeah. I mean, it's just a ding, you know, but, I mean, you know, nowadays, everything dings.
Yeah, but it would ding every time one of us would, every time the feed switches.
Wow.
I mean, I can let it run, see if we're all annoyed by it, as I am.
Totally up to you, bro. I guess not everything dings. I don't think my pancreas has ever dinged.
Not yet.
No. Yeah, it's just a little... It's like a tiny little gong.
Do you see us in the bottom corner of the feed? No.
Oh.
The answer is no.
Well, I guess we'll push back and forth and let your pancreas ding.
Wonder why it doesn't work. I mean, I wonder why it keeps wanting you to upgrade when you've upgraded.
Well, it seems if we skip more than 1 week, it goes through this. Yeah. And of course, we've been off for a couple of weeks because we're traveling. Bob has had things put into his foot that don't naturally belong there, like robotics. And then
I don't have any robotics in me yet. I don't know if I'm going to have to. Huh?
Nanotechnology?
No, but that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, we have the technology to rebuild you, Bob.
To make me awesomer?
That's not possible to make you awesomer. We can just allow you to jump tall buildings.
You may now have the ability to set off metal detectors.
Right.
What a superpower.
If they put the screws in me. They haven't done that yet. They've talked about how it's a possibility that I may have to do, but it hasn't been done yet.
So they haven't opened you up to do anything?
No. In fact, here's the weird thing about it, is that originally they said, okay, well, the x-ray shows that there's a few breaks in here. A few? Why is there a few breaks? Why would my foot all of a sudden break in a few places? Like, all of a sudden, right? So they send me to the specialist, who goes like, yeah, this is a stress fracture. You have one here for sure, and there's probably one here and maybe here. What? But we have to do this MRI first. So this one here is probably going to need screws. But let's wait until we get the MRI before we figure anything out. All right. Do the MRI. He comes in and says, well, here's the problem. You've got the cartilage and tendons, not cartilage, the tendons and, I don't know, all the stuff that's connected to the bone pulled off by about a ½ inch. Ligaments, yes. Ligaments and tendons, they pulled off the bone by like a ½ inch. So let's put you in this boot, see what happens in 5 weeks. Then after that, we'll do therapy. We'll have you go to therapy and do all that. And and it might fix itself on its own, or we might have to go in and put some screws in, just to connect the stuff to the bone. And I'm heading home, and I'm thinking, what about all these brakes that everybody was talking about? I mean, are they gone now? Did they just go away? They're no longer brakes? But I mean, that was it. He said, yes, there's brakes. The X-rays said that there was brakes, and then he says, but it should all heal itself. You're fine. I don't know. So I have no idea what's going on.
Well, if they're stress fractures, they're probably really tiny, hairline cracks versus,
right.
Totally breaking your bone in half. So
yeah.
I suppose that's why they're not so worried about it, is because they're more likely to heal themselves.
I'm a bit worried about it because, man, did it hurt. It hurt so much. And what it felt like is, I don't know if either of you have ever had something like this happen, but doing the old baseball thing, and a pitch comes in and hits you in the side of the foot. I mean, it felt like a solid, really hard smack to the side of my foot, like bam, to the point where there was a really, this is how I describe it to people, is it was a really loud noise and a really, really loud pain. And I don't know, it was crazy. Somebody said, well, it was a very loud pain, yes.
I had something disconnect from the top of my foot years back, which is why I have the boot, is because I was, we were leaving a friend's house and we were walking down the sidewalk at night, and two of the chunks of the sidewalk where the seam is were uneven, and I basically stepped right on the center of the crack, and the front part of my foot fell down to the next block, whereas the back half of my foot stayed on the one behind it, and ripped stuff off the top of my foot.
Wow.
So
it's amazing that it's so fragile.
I also, when I was a kid and I was pulling an engine apart, I popped off the head and it fell off and hit my foot and bounced away. So that was 50, 60, 70 pounds of metal.
Yeah. So you can engine stuff?
Yeah, I used to build car engines.
That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I restored a car in high school.
Nice.
Basically, what our situation is I'm the useless one who likes to spend lots of money, wasting money, and she's the one that's the useful one who builds things and restores them.
Wow. Yeah, but you put a bed together, so.
You put a bed together?
Yeah. Okay, my wife is home, so that means she's probably going to talk a lot because that's what she does. Love you.
Just put her on camera. She'll be quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good point. Thanks, Brian.
Yes, before we bought our house here, we had a... Oh, I didn't see it. Hold it up again. Oh, shoot. Now it's gone.
How was that? It's these chocolate things with stuff inside.
Oh, truffle?
Yes.
So, okay, before we bought our condo here, we had a home inspection done on it to see if anything was, if it was worth buying or not.
Yes.
And the guy came up with a couple of recommendations of things that needed to be fixed. He said that the light fixture outside of our door didn't work. The light fixture right inside of our entryway didn't work. The spring in our dishwasher door didn't work, so the door falls open when you open it instead of, slowly coming to a stop.
Yeah.
And the toilet in one of the bathrooms didn't work. So, okay, we get here and we first of all discovered that the water was shut off to several things in the house as well. We're coming from a house built 60 years ago, which you couldn't find a shutoff valve to save your life. And this place has them behind and beside every source of water possible because it was built 10 years ago.
Wow.
So we turned on the water to the toilet that I guess we figured out it was broken. There was the float piece inside of the tank that makes the water shut off.
Yes.
The metal rod was completely rusted to the point where it didn't have any tension left in it.
It was flexible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we.
That's neat to fix.
Well, yeah, we bought the piece to replace that entire part. Actually, I replaced that exact same part in our house in Bismarck probably about a month ago.
Huh.
So we bought one because there's a Home Depot less than 2 miles away from our house here. So we found a Home Depot yesterday and got the piece, and I fixed it. And then we're in the bedroom working on the bed, and then all of a sudden we hear the toilet run. And then we wait a while, and then we hear the toilet run a little bit again. So then we discover that the flap part that keeps the water in the tank is also bad. So I'll have to go back to the hospital, get that part too. Yeah. So fixed all of that. And then as far as the light fixtures are concerned, all we needed was light bulbs. The light bulbs were burnt out.
I was gonna ask that. Yeah, there's.
Yeah, that was obviously the first question was, let's see if the light bulbs are burnt out. And
I'm surprised he didn't try that.
Apparently it's not his job to fix it or figure out why it doesn't work. It's just to tell the obvious.
Right.
Yeah.
So got those all fixed, and then also the heat. I should show you. I'll show you this here. Gotta move the computer. You hang on to this.
I'll hang on to this.
Okay, this is our entire source of heat for the condo. This little. We have 2 of these in the main room, and then 1 in each bedroom. So
do they throw off a lot of heat?
They do. They're just basically little electric heaters. The 2 in the living room, kitchen area are connected to a thermostat, and then the other 2 in the bedrooms just have a knob on the front, and you can turn them on and have them. It doesn't exactly give you a temperature, but you can set them to where it'll make the room warmer or not as warm. Anyway,
right.
One of the heaters didn't work when we looked at the place, and there's no knob on the front because they're controlled by the thermostat. So I got my needle nose pliers out and turned the little shaft where the knob is supposed to be on the second heater, and it worked too.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm glad the fixes were that easy, because if they aren't, well, then I may not be able to handle them either.
Yeah, those all seem like really easy fixes, though. I mean, it's a good thing that they're so easy, though. I was just totally thinking something, and I don't remember what it was.
We also ate at a Jack in the Box for the first time ever yesterday.
You ate what?
At a Jack in the Box.
Ooh, I've never eaten one of those either.
They're excellent. In fact, I've been kind of dreaming about it, and I might want to go back today. I don't know yet.
Is it just burgers? Like a burger place?
It's like a fast food type place. So there are burgers. There is like chicken strips, chicken nuggets, chicken burgers. And then we also saw tacos on the menu, and I even saw egg rolls in the appetizer section.
Nice.
It was very weird. I mean, it was good, great food, but it was very weird to see that such an eclectic mishmash of things.
Right.
And when we went there, I guess we didn't look at the time, but we went in and they had a little breakfast menu kind of off to the side by the counter, and then they had the big menu behind them of all the dinner, rest of the day food.
Yeah.
And so he orders his meal, the cheeseburger or whatever he ordered, and the girl goes, breakfast or dinner? And, he says, dinner menu. And I order my burger. And we get our food, and I didn't think anything of it, and we're sitting there eating, and then I look at the time, and it was 10-something, like a little after 10. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, yeah, our stomachs are still on Central Time. It's noon to our tummies.
Wow. No,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, and as I was going to say, that's going to be the sucky part about having to go back for a month, because I have to go back to North Dakota for a month. So I'm going to have to readjust to the time and then come back out and readjust again to a new time.
Wow. Now I do like places that have burgers. A bacon cheeseburger for breakfast. It's awesome. But it's very rare to find places that will sell you bacon cheeseburgers for breakfast. You go in there in the morning. There we have one place, a pancake house here, that used to do that. And I guess places like Denny's do that. But I should be able to walk into a place at 9 o'clock in the morning and get a bacon cheeseburger if I want. Or if I want a ham and cheese omelet for dinner, hey, why not? And it sucks. They're like, well, no, that's not available now. But do they take the eggs out of the building at a certain time? You know what I mean? It's like, why is it not available?
Yeah, I think the problem is with the breakfast, with the specific time limits of food, is that they only work for people who adhere to a 9-to-5 schedule. And if you're working over, your breakfast is at a completely different time of day.
The world is, or at least around here, our country, I think, is set up as far as it's a first shift schedule.
That's why I liked Mississippi when we lived there, because we could go to Waffle House whenever the hell we wanted and eat whatever the hell we wanted at any hour that we wanted.
Right. We went to a place, me and a buddy of mine, well, a few friends. Man, they made fun of me. Because what I did is, it was a Waffle House type place, and I got, I essentially got 2 meals at once, a breakfast and a lunch. It was, like the burger type stuff, and it was like 2 things all at once. Not saying I want this meal and this meal. I said I want a burger and an omelet, and I just ordered off of I ordered everything that I wanted, and it was essentially 2 meals. So I got a lot of shit about that, because I was just thinking, it's like, I got enough food to fill me up. That's what I wanted. And they're like, yeah, but you ate 2 meals. Not just 2 burgers, fries, and drinks, but a burger, fry, and drink, and a breakfast on top of that. But the worst part was at the end when I saw that they had this chocolate cream pie, and I was like, ooh, I want chocolate cream pie. And they how many slices? I was like, slices? No, I want a chocolate cream pie. And I bought a pie at the end. And I only ate I don't remember, but I'm thinking I brought the whole thing a pie to go. And it's chocolate cream. But yeah, I got a lot of shit for that. I still hear about that. Oh well.
When we stayed in Pendleton, the town 3 hours away from here, well, first of all, we stayed at Motel 6s because we knew that they would be pet friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never stayed in a Motel 6, and I was surprised at how nice they were for as cheap as they are. Anyway, we stayed in Pendleton, and there was this restaurant called Sherry's, Sherry's Restaurant and Pies or something like that. Speaking of pie, so it was a 24-hour place, so it was kind of like a Denny's where it had all the different meals, all different times of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we had done is we looked at their menu, or at least I did, online a little bit on our way into town. And what we both went over and we placed our order to go, and then I went back to the hotel to hang out with the cat so she wouldn't freak out. And so we're ordering, and we saw these like 20 different types of pies. So we were each going to get a slice of pie too. And after we each order our meals, and I'm like, oh yeah, we need to get pie, and the girl goes, yeah, you each get a free slice of pie. And I'm like, okay, great. So we each get our piece of pie and everything, and DJ brings the food back over to the hotel, and then I see on the napkin it said something about free pie Wednesday, and it happened to be Wednesday when we were there. And it said a free slice of pie with every meal from 4 to 10 p.m. So we got there at exactly the right time.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we've seen at least 3 of those restaurants in Portland so far.
And I'm sure you're going to be seeing them, on Wednesdays.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and when I looked at their locations online, it made it sound like they were very scarce. Like there was the one in Pendleton, there's one in a suburb of Portland called Beaverton, and there was one in a third location. And so I said, it's going to be really hard to get to one of these because we're going to have to travel out of town. So then we get here, and we see one on the road on the way to our house. And then we saw 2 on the road up to IKEA from our house. So, no, they're not as scarce as we thought they were.
Right. Now, IKEA, I don't think I've ever been to one of those, but we were talking about one today.
I was going to go to one of the
We almost went to one today. She asked about it because I saw on, we have one of those buy-sell trade Facebook pages, and somebody who's starting their own business asked about furniture, store-type furniture, because they started a store and they need stuff. And somebody posted that the IKEA in Napanee, which is, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. What?
Alco.
Oh, my bad. Alco. My bad. So the whole story that I was just telling, forget about it. So this Alco is going out of business and it's selling like all the shelving and all that shit. But
Alco in general is going out of business. Like every Alco store is closing.
Wow.
There was one in Hazen, which is 8 miles away from where we're from. And so my mom and dad told us about it because the Alco that they shop at is closing.
Well, what is this place? Is it like a grocery store, furniture store? I mean, what do they do there?
It's like a mini Walmart, sort of. It's kind of a general everything type store. With Beulah and Hazen being small, those are kind of their general store.
Yeah.
So I know you can get clothing, you can get furniture, you can get kitchen stuff, you can get electronics up there. I mean, they have a little bit of everything. They don't have a whole lot for groceries. Like they'll have canned goods and shelf type items, but not so much as far as refrigerated or frozen goes.
Cool. It's weird that they would be going out of business unless they're being ran out by the bigger Walmart type stores. One that makes perfect sense is we've had a few of the I can't remember the brand name of it, the video stores going out of business over here. That makes sense. Yeah, Blockbuster. Who the hell's going to rent movies anymore, But between Redbox and Netflix and stuff like that, I can see business like that going out. But
well, if you think about it, and both of our computers are an example of this. We have really no place to put a disc into anymore, so we don't really have a means of watching something from a disc.
Really?
The TV we have here with us right now does have a built-in DVD player, but we're both in agreement that TV is probably not going to last here very long.
Well, the only reason we have it is because we got it for free. It wouldn't have been something that we would have chosen to purchase.
Nope.
So the computers, are they not coming with the disk drives anymore? or that's just your particular brand's?
No, we bought 2 Windows laptops a couple years ago. They didn't have CD-ROMs. Neither of the Apple laptops that we have CD-ROMs in them. I mean, basically, there's no room. I mean, they're because they're thinner and more compact. But really, I can rarely think of a reason when I personally need the drive even.
Yeah, because I've even with my old laptop and my iMac, which I no longer have, both had disk drives that you could stick stuff into. I couldn't even tell you the last time I put something into them. So that I stopped using them long before I stopped having them.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't think I've used mine forever either. In fact, it wasn't. At one point, I opened it up just to see if there was anything still in there. But makes you wonder about the laptop that I had, whether there was something still in there.
Every time we take the PlayStation down to pack it or get it fixed or whatever, Return of the Jedi, the Blu-ray disc, is always in the drive for some reason. So I have to continuously hunt for my Return of the Jedi if I ever want to watch it.
That's kind of cool. I mean, that a movie like that just finds its way into the machine. It's a good movie, and if it just finds its way in there, it's like, well, that's convenient. Now, one of the things I used to do with my movies, and because I was always big on, I want to watch something, but I don't know what to watch. And I have a large movie collection. You can see a bunch of them up there. So what I would do is I would open up a movie, and I would put it in the player. The next time I go to watch a movie, it's like, okay, I'm going to watch this now. I'd go over, I'd open it up, put that one into the player, and take the one that's in the player, and I'd put it into that case. And I was always doing that. To where if I watch 20 movies, there's 20 movies here that are in the wrong case. There's times when I'd go to watch something, like, okay, I don't know, I'm going to watch this one. I'd open it up and like, or that. But if there was a specific movie that I was looking for, well, it's not in here. This one goes into this one. It's not in here. This one goes into this one. And trying to hunt down one was a pain in the ass. But it was just a kind of a bad habit that I had, just sticking them in the case that was just right there.
Yeah, I remember habits like that. I ended up finding weird shit all over the place in our little shared home at one point.
Right.
My favorite thing was looking for I don't know, napkins or whatever, and opening up a drawer, and there's like spoons randomly in a drawer that spoons don't belong in. So I would pick up the spoons, and I would go to the drawer where the spoons belong, and there was other things in that drawer that shouldn't have been in that drawer. So yeah, it was Bob just puts things away wherever he has room.
Well, and that was a
yes.
It's an organizational style. Like, I will put things where they belong unless there's somebody coming over. You open up a drawer, and you dump everything into it, and you close the drawer. Clean.
Well, I remember that you and I used to be really, really organized in our studio apartment, and then we went on a field exercise, and when we came back, it's like we didn't give a shit anymore, so everything just kept getting piled in one corner.
Yes. I believe that that place was terrible. We started out being real organized, but it got to the point where, it got messy, and it was so messy to the point where somebody would step on an ashtray and it would flip upside down, and we would just leave it there. In fact, because there were so many ashes on the floor anyways, we stopped using ashtrays. We just flipped the cigarettes wherever they were. We just throw them on the floor and step on them. We just stopped using ashtrays. I mean, there was no point to it anymore. The only reason to have an ashtray is to keep the ashes off the floor. Why bother?
Right towards the end, when we all four of us got evicted from that place, it was. Did we get
convicted? Is that what happened?
What?
Did we get convicted? I don't remember that. We ended up moving out, staying with Angie's family or something for like the last deployment.
Yeah, because the power went out, got cut off like a month, well, 2 weeks before that happened. So we lived there for 2 weeks, and then we kind of grabbed as much crap as we could and got out of there because whoever owned the house apparently was coming over, and Ivy, who was the primary individual, seemed really worried, and that made me suspicious that he was staying there and he wasn't supposed to be.
Yep, it was 2 weeks. Man, I could see that. I remember that there was a time that I was using the only light source that we had was boxes of stolen candles from the galley.
Yes.
That was kind of cool. It was like camping because it sucked.
My favorite part about that place was us having to line the entire studio thing in salt because we had a terrible slug problem.
Yeah, that was crazy. There were just like little slime trails all over the place. So we salted them.
Yes. And my favorite neighbor ever was the guy who had the DEA, not a local drug enforcement thing at his house every day. The actual DEA with the dark blue vests and the yellow letters were at his house at least once a day across the street because he had a drug problem.
He had a big drug problem. In fact, the cat that April had, Nicodemus. Did you remember that name? This is a big black cat. And it didn't give a fuck about nothing. The dog would be chewing on its tail, and it would just kind of look over its shoulder at it and go back to looking outside. This cat didn't care. I mean, all total honey badger style shit. Well, we found out that the neighbor gave it acid. Now, I don't know how the neighbor decided to give their cat acid, but they said that it wasn't that it didn't give a fuck, it's that it was on a perma trip. Because I mean it acted one way and then it started acting a different way. And it was like seriously it became like really he didn't give a fuck.
Well, and he was deaf too, so the one day where we were all late for work, or where we were going to be late for work, I pile everybody into the car to drive out of the driveway, and the cat's sitting right in front of the driveway. And Ivy looks over at me and goes, "Honk at the cat, get him out of the way." And I look at Ivy and I'm like, "Ivy, the cat is deaf. He's not going to hear me honking the horn."
Well, that was a thing that we thought was deaf because, I mean, you could throw a shoe and it would hit right next to it and it wouldn't phase it at all. You can slap your hands and it wouldn't move at all. We thought it was deaf, but at one point it was like you make a tiniest little sound and it could turn, but you make a big old noise right behind it. And it was oblivious to it, and that's when we found. And that's when we heard it. Like it wasn't. I don't think it was deaf. It just didn't give a fuck. I don't know. That's cool either way, though. I mean, it's kind of dickish. I mean, it's really dickish for somebody to do that. I mean, they could have killed the cat, but it was a cool cat. But then again, huh?
Nicodemus was cool.
He was a cool cat. I think the worst that we did, I mean, other than, I think me and Ivy killed a cat that kept coming, like somehow kept getting into the house and pissing all over everything. So that one we killed that one, which I felt bad about.
That cat, but I never saw the cat. Not before, not during, not after. I only heard about the cat. So I would have come home from whatever, and you guys, the cat got in again. I'm like, what cat are you guys talking about?
We didn't know whether there's any holes in there at all, but somehow this white and yellow cat kept getting in and was pissing all over everything.
That's just.
We did make the dog glow with the little chem lights. I don't remember the dog's name.
It's my favorite event. My favorite two events in that house. First, I come home one night, and you're huddled down in front of the sink with the drawers open, with this big smile on your face, and I'm like, "What?" And you're like, "You had a broomstick." And every time there was a hole in our cupboards, which led to Ivy and April's hole. And then you poke it, and the door would open up. And we made April scream several times before Ivy figured out that there was a hole in the cupboard. And my second favorite thing is the day we made napalm. You,
Yes.
we made your home, and we lit it on fire in the backyard on a cement slab, which I'm not sure what that cement slab was for. And then you decided you wanted to put it out with your shoe, and you lost that shoe.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool. We lost the shoe. We lost the gas can.
Yeah, I just, you got the shoe off, and then you put it on the slab, and you're kind of staring at it like, well, we're going to need to buy you new shoes.
Yeah, that was good times. Also, I had a black trunk that I still have, by the way. You know, one of those like big chest type trunks. And we had fun with black lights. So what I was doing is we were using yellow highlighter markers and drawing on things from the trunk to like pretty much everything. Because the cool thing was is that you couldn't see anything that you wrote on there in regular light. But under the black light, everything showed up nice and shiny bright. So I know that we did a lot of stuff with the chem lights and Sharpie markers.
Now, was it like a trunk like you buy from like a Walmart now, or was it one of those trunks where you had, we built them, they were the sea chests or whatever we called them?
They weren't that big, but they were like that. They were it had like the really thin, I don't know, wood type box. Probably, I'm guessing, 2 feet this way by 4 feet this way, and then maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall. I mean, it was a box, and then it had like a little tray that once you open it up, it had like a little tray that comes out, so you can have like little things on top. And
up until I'd say about 7 or 8 years ago, I still had my sea chest that I had gotten from somebody for free, and I remember that we would ship it to wherever we were going, empty,
it's one of those.
and it would just come back full. And with those sea chests, there was one guy from Alpha Company who we were getting ready to leave Okinawa the first time. I'm pretty sure it was the first time. And he brought his chest in full, and you could only have it like 200 pounds. Everybody got 200 pounds of this chest. So when it got to him, he had this gigantic chest full, and they weighed it, and I don't remember what the first few weights were, but he kept taking more out to see how much he could take with him. The chest itself was 350 pounds.
Wow.
Empty. So he's looking at all his stuff laying all over the place, and he's like, well, I guess I can't use this chest. And we're all like, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, that was, I don't know, there's things about the military that, did your wife, does she not like the military stories, or was she annoyed with the harming of the cat stories?
Well, she would have been annoyed with the harming of the cat stories, which we're not. I mean, we weren't responsible for it. But B, our dryer went off, so she's currently away laundry.
Oh no, I love 100% because it's all non-stop military stories that have nothing to do with me, so there's no point in.
Because what?
The military stories.
Right. So that time that we worked in Mississippi. Yeah. She doesn't like the military stories. That's all right.
Well, she's heard 99% of them because I don't know. I tell them a lot.
You know what's weird is that was only, I guess it was a long time ago, but I don't remember a whole lot. How long? She says 20 years. I don't remember a whole lot. I remember like little pieces, and I remember things that we've talked about, and sometimes you'll mention something, and I'm like, oh yeah, but I don't remember much of my past. I don't know if everybody's like that or if that's just me, but I really have like anything beyond a certain point is very, very, I just don't remember stuff.
Well, I want to write an autobiography, and what I noticed is when I attempted to do it last NaNoWriMo is I got to a certain point and I kind of petered out because I was like, you know, I'm doing this linearly, and I get closer and closer to the actual time things, you know, today, and I was running out of stuff because I rifled through it so fast. But what I thought about was what I need to do is I can still go linearly, but I need to pick a topic for the chapter and just talk about that topic. So, growing up is one chapter, and any job I ever had is another chapter, and then the military is a chapter, and then the post-military job thing is a chapter, and dating is a chapter, things like that. I need to focus, and I can go from start to finish in those, and that's how I write the book.
Now, am I the only one who feels that an autobiography should write itself?
That's an automatic biography.
Oh, well. See, I didn't realize there was that. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's true.
Cool. What you making, hon?
Well, we are over the hour, Bob.
Ooh. Okay.
So, are you interested? Well, let's see. Let me think about this. Do you want a podcast next week?
Do we have anything happening next week, wife? I don't think that there's anything planned as of now. Do you have plans?
I don't have plans. See, because the reason I ask is because then we can do a 3-state podcast. I will be in North Dakota. You will be in Indiana, and Tricia will be right here in Oregon.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's, and I'm sure it happens all the time, but when you break it down like that and you think about it, that's kind of cool. It's amazing that we can do stuff like that today.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're watching the news and you're watching a news that's from like a news broadcast from somewhere else, and in that news broadcast they say, like the other day, this is what happened in France today, or whatever, and so there's the videos from there. It's basically the same thing. You're watching something in one country that's coming from another state, and that's pretty cool.
Well,
okay.
Because we moved to a new location, we need a new local news channel to watch. So, in the small town, you get the corny local news teams. Then where we come from, Bismarck, there's 2 news teams to choose from. There's the more polished version of the corniness, and then there's it looks like we just set up a video camera team that has got 6 people that all just happen to live in the same neighborhood trying to do what the other channel is trying to do. So it was an easy choice there. And here, we have almost, I'm not sure about the CW, but the 4 major networks all have an affiliate in town, because Portland is huge. So yeah. we have to. I've been checking out. I think I've got 3 of them figured out. Of the 3, I know which news I would like to watch, and they're not hometown corny. I mean, they're like, we're just short of being national, so let's go ahead and broadcast that way. Yes.
Right.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that the news a lot of times seems not fake, but that they're recording the news based on they're not doing it to get the news out there. They're doing it to get people to watch the news, and I'm saddened by that. That I want to know truth. I want to know what's going on, not just what sells.
Yeah. Well, whenever news went to ratings, where news had, whenever they stopped trying to just give you the news and they started trying to get ratings, is when things fell apart.
Right.
What Tricia wanted me to tell you is the other night at IKEA, we are looking for the items that were too large to. IKEA's laid out as in like the top floor and the bottom. Well, the top floor is all showroom stuff, so you're like walking through mock kitchens and mock living rooms and mock bedrooms. And then the lower floor is like all the dishes you put in those and all the storage stuff. And then you go to the area where it's like a Home Depot, where it's just large industrial shelves full of the cool stuff in the mock kitchens, mock living rooms, and so on. So we're walking through, picking up we're looking for our bed pieces and our couch and something else. And I'm walking along, and I look at the lady coming the opposite direction of us, and I see on her sweatshirt the blue key surrounded by the little symbol that represents the resistance in Ingress. So I quick point and I'm like, she's wearing an Ingress shirt. And so I turned around. Now she missed the front, but the back had some sort of I forget what the back had, but it indicated that it was blue, and it indicated she was also resistant. So she looks like, wow. You know, we don't see people wearing things like that out in the open in North Dakota. It's that's kind of neat.
That's pretty cool. I don't know if you've ever followed it. I have posted some of the things that he's put on Facebook, and that's God. Facebook God is hilarious. And I've been asked before about, you know, how I should go to church. It's like, hey, I follow Facebook God. That's like reading the Lord's Word every day. Now, Facebook God it's a comedian guy who enjoys pissing people off by playing God on Facebook, and it's great. And it's a cartoon face that looks like the South Park characters. No, not South Park characters. Yeah, South Park characters. Yeah, and it's every once in a while, twice now, I've seen people walking around wearing this guy's face on his chest. And it's like, that's awesome. Because it's like, and every time I see this, well, both times I've seen this, because it's happened twice, they were both an older guy with the beard. And it's like, I wonder if that's Facebook God. I mean, I wonder if that's the guy. You know, it's like he's wearing the shirt, and then I wonder if that's the guy who's doing this on Facebook, like pissing so many people off. But, yeah. It's amusing. Yeah.
I want to tell
totally
you about.
Want to like walk over and say, "Hey, are you God?" and shake his hand, but that's.
I'm not sure where the oatmeal guy is from, but here in Portland, I have discovered that this is like mini New York. So, and the reason I say that is because there are a lot of comic book companies here, like they're headquartered in Portland. So, people like Brian Michael Bendis live here in Portland. So
that's awesome. Who's that?
Brian Michael Bendis is the guy who's been basically responsible for the Avengers, he's the one that created Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man.
No shit.
Yeah. He's awesome. If you go to brianmichaelbendis.tumblr.com, that is his internet toilet for everything that is Brian Michael Bendis that he finds interesting. You can ask him questions. If he gets enough questions of the same type, he actually answers them. The first question I ever sent him, he answered. I haven't gotten him to answer another one since, but it was pretty cool.
What was your question?
My question is I want to be a comic book writer, and I was wondering, I know that most comic book writers write for the specific artist, so I asked him, should I just come up with ideas and then go ahead and, find an artist, or should I start writing and then worry about the artist later? And his response was, write every day, all the time, and worry about the artist later.
That's cool. That's a good call.
Yeah, I'm getting a message.
Right. You like to write. Yeah. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of the stuff that I had written on my computer that I'm recording on my phone right now. I don't know if I mentioned this while we were recording or not. And the reason for that is I had a big old glass of water, and it got put onto my laptop like this. Well, it bumped over, and a lot of water went into my laptop. That's not good for the laptop.
Not so much.
Hence recording on the phone. That really made me sad.
True.
I lost a lot. There's it's like losing your wallet. It's like there was only $3 in there, but there's so much more than just money that you keep in your wallet. So it's so much more than just not having my laptop anymore. I got a lot of stuff in there. Stories I was writing, ideas that I had.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, your wallet. You've got the condom that's been there since 1998. You've got the business cards to all the random businesses that you have. You've got that receipt from the gas station where you pumped 37 cents in gas because that's all you had that day. Not sure why you're keeping it, but you still have it. And then there's the note from your mother to always wear clean underwear and fresh socks every day. And then, of course, you have your $3.
Exactly.
It's true.
But you also have like these insanely difficult things to replace, like not to replace, but to deal with. Credit cards that might have been in there, or driver's license, things that you need, and not only do you need them, but you need other people to not have them. That's the pain in the ass about losing your wallet. You don't have that type of problem when you lose your computer because nobody can access the information that you yourself can no longer access. But
I have somebody who's letting me know that he's got a present for me, and I'm telling him I don't live at that place anymore.
Oh.
He's got a gift for me for my birthday, for my day of.
So when he brings it to you, he can see your new place.
Well, see, he's in Bismarck, and he's like, "Are you home right now?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in Portland. I'll be back on Saturday." Well, actually, I am home, but I'm not at the home he thinks that I'm at.
I'm at a home. That's cool. Definitely at a home, not the home.
Yeah. And the place I'll be staying when I go back, I'm calling home 2 because I'll be there for a month and then I'll leave again.
That's pretty good. Now, you were originally talking about possibly being gone for like 3 to 6 months, so only being gone for a month, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, being as part of the post office, first off, I am no longer a carrier. I did get my promotion to supervisor, so that's an important thing. As a supervisor, I talked to the postmaster, who's the guy that hired me as the supervisor, and he knew that he was hiring me for a short period of time. He's like, just go ahead and do whatever you need to. So I started making calls because I knew that there was a couple of openings here in Portland.
Yeah.
Well, I made one call. I had a list of 3 people to call. I made one call. I talked to one of the sub-postmasters of Portland because there's a postmaster who's like, I'm never going to meet her. That's how up the food chain she is. She's got 3 people under her that kind of help her run the city, and then from there, there's 18 different stations where different carriers are at. So I talked to this guy for about a week. Well, I talked to him once, but I left him messages for about a week letting him know I'm very persistent and you're either going to hire me or you're going to hire me because I'm not going to stop. So,
oh, shit.
Well, he went on vacation towards the end of that week, and I got a call from someone here in Portland at one of the stations, and we talked a little bit, and he's like, well, it sounds like you really want to move here, and I explained where I live, and he's actually 6.5 miles away from where we live, so it's as close as I can get at the moment. So he starts talking to my postmaster in Bismarck, and couple of like 2 days later, I had a new job. I had a start date, and I'll be starting here on March 3rd. So, now that I'm no longer a carrier, every year the rural carriers, of which I was, have a mail count, which means we literally count every single piece of mail that they get, packages, magazines, letters, all of it, and what they get paid is based off of what we come up with as part of that mail count. They kind of get like an average for the whole year then. I wanted to avoid that mail count because I will be moving to a station that has no rural carriers. So I was trying to push to get out of there before the mail count started. The reason I am here for a month is because I am the one running the rural mail count.
Nice.
No. So I will be there counting mail for a month, and then when that month gets towards the end, I'm going to start pestering the postmaster to let me go early. And then when he'll let me go, I can drive back to Portland here, where I will not deal with a rural carrier probably ever again, because to get me out of the place that I'll be working, it has to be like terrible, terrible, or I have to find another opening that's way closer than what I have right now until I start moving up the food chain. That's another thing I should point out. In North Dakota, management has very sparse levels. Just to give you numerical values, I am a level 17. In order to become a level 18, I would have to be a postmaster somewhere. There are no 19 and 20. 21, I would have to be a postmaster in a larger place, and 22 is what my postmaster is in Bismarck. He's a level 22. So in Portland, not only are there each levels in between 17 and 25, but they don't have, like, I don't have to be a postmaster at level 18. I can do different, I can manage managers at that point. There's a level 19, there's a level 20, there's a 21. I think it goes up to 25. It might even go up higher than that, but I'm not sure. They have everything I need to advance here, which basically is what I'm looking to do. I want to rise to a certain point and stop, because I do not want to have to be political. I don't like doing the political stuff, so I don't want to have political connections to rise up to start being the Postmaster General, for instance. And I don't want to be in a position where I'm dealing directly with the public. Right now, the job I'm going to, I'm 90% sure I won't have to take some customers, which means I'm going to be sitting pretty.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm glad everything's going to be working out for you, man. That's awesome.
And it happened a lot faster than I thought it was going to, which was great, because I know I was prepared to stay in Bismarck until June, and now I only have to stay till the end of February.
It's like bonus awesome.
Yes. Awesome with whipped cream.
Cool. All right. Well, we have gone past the hour, and looks like wife's got the foods ready.
No, I don't.
Oh.
You got another 2 hours.
Oh. Well, then why has he got to wash his hands?
Because he has stuff all over him.
So,
wow.
we will see you next week, Bob, at the same bat time, same bat channel.
Excellent. Sounds good, bro. Take it easy, man.
You have a good day, and we'll see you on the flip side, sir.
You too. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye.
He's the same age as me. Yep. Bye-bye.